Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future, and I am back today with a brand new video. And today I have a couple success stories to share. So let's intend right now that you get something out of this video, that this video helps you to clear up your own personal blocks about whatever you're trying to manifest. And then, yeah, we start the week off to a great note. So if you're watching this when it airs on Monday, also let's intend for a great week, having fun, evolving, growing, and expanding. All right. So also just a reminder that the links for booking one-on-one coaching with me are in the box below, as well as links to all of my courses, pre-recorded hypnosis audios, and also my Love Spell audio, which is my personal bestseller. We're giving away a free course also. So that is in the box below. All right, you guys. So I think that with the culmination of this year, starting a new year, there are commonalities that I see with people that are manifesting something, whether that be money, career, specific person, or what have you. And especially in love and relationships, it seems like this time of year, we're really shown through all of the holidays and family celebrations what could potentially lead us into the story of lack, or us telling ourselves that we're not experiencing what we want to experience. So I had two clients recently that through a 45-minute session with each of them, that we really got to the bottom of their self-concept and what they disliked about themselves, and then what was being reflected back through other people. So I don't want to go into actual success stories that I'm going to read out loud, but I think that the basic principle with both of them, because they both wrote in feedback and saying that really we had uncovered so much and that coaching is always helpful, but that these sessions were particularly helpful. So I thought that it would be helpful for everybody to do what I encourage them to do, which is that both people also have the commonality that they're manifesting for love, relationships, specific person, and then also career change and money change, right? So as always, I listened to their story. I listened to what was currently happening, how they were currently feeling. And I said to both of them, so what you're seeing in your 3D reality is a reflection of what you're holding on to about yourself. And oftentimes we cannot see that our 3D physical reality is reflecting back something about ourselves, because that something has been so ingrained. It's such a part of ourselves, and it's such a deep assumption or belief system that we're not really aware of how it's running the show. Okay. So um, I wanted to give the example too of myself as a coach. And I think this is really interesting because there was a time in my life where I, Alexis, thought that what I did as a job, as a profession, was weird. Like that this was somehow woo woo, that was misunderstood, that, et cetera, et cetera. This whole story, this whole thing that I had embedded in myself. Because one of my clients also had that story about herself. She's not necessarily a coach like me, but she said that there were people around her and she had with her specific person that they thought that she was strange, and she was always hearing that she was strange because she was an artist. Okay. So I said, okay, interesting. So do you think that you're strange because you're an artist? Because I once, in my evolution of Alexis, believed that I was strange because of my profession. And she said, yes, actually, I do. And I said, well, isn't that interesting that it's being shown, it's being reflected in your physical reality? And I said, hey, do you think what I do is weird, me, Alexis? And she said, no, I don't. I see you as being so professional, as, your manifestation coach, but it's really like therapy. She went on this whole thing. And I said, well, interesting. Do you know that at one point I didn't believe this about myself, and people told me the opposite? So it's proof that when you change your perspective of yourself, that people in your reality reflect a different version back to you, right? Because one could easily think, right? Like, we're Create Your Future. We have this YouTube channel, Thinking Thoughts on Purpose, to change something outside of you, right? Within you, it's weird, right? So I actually did this kind of experiment this week. I now asked people in my reality, do you think that what I do is weird? Me, Alexis, okay? And everyone said no. Like, what do you mean? Like, you work remotely, you work from home, you help people, people write in success stories, you work with mindset, right? And I even asked my husband what he thought about what I do. And he said, no, like you're just so professional. So interesting that I, at one point, though, in my own evolution professionally, had to change that. And the change is now reflected back to me. And it's so ingrained, you guys, that I'm not even aware of it. Okay. So this client, I encouraged her, okay, so let's change the story about you being an artist. Let's change the story that you have about what do artists make for a living? What do people think about artists? And this was something that was so ingrained in her, she didn't even know that she could change because, again, this was a deep assumption, a deep belief system. So now, those of you watching this, I would like to invite you to start thinking about what is the real reason I'm not in the career that I desire? What is the real reason that I'm not with SP, right? What's the real reason that I hear myself tell myself that I don't currently have X, Y, or Z in my reality, right? Because the answer that you come up with is the block to why you don't have what you want to have. And for me, Alexis, at some point in my journey, me not being in the relationship I wanted to be in, not being in the marriage that I wanted to be in. It was part of the story that I was telling myself about my concept of self, right? Because it really it would not be helpful for me to be in a relationship or be in a reality or be in a marriage where I'm not having a real career, not professionally sought after, etc. Right? So these are really important keys that are often missed by people when they're manifesting intentionally for more money, manifesting intentionally for more career, or manifesting intentionally for a specific person. And it's really the story, right? That's underneath the story. It's the greater assumption of self, because just to come to another key point, right, is that everyone is you pushed out. So everyone is not your SP pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So the thoughts you have about you, the story you're telling yourself about yourself at the basis of everything is what we're constantly, continually working on changing. And if you're not experiencing yet the full, like, end of the rainbow scenario that I like to call it, then perhaps you're in the middle of persisting in the news story. Perhaps you're still seeing your reality shift and change and mold into what you want to in your energetic outer experience. But these are bigger things to think about also. Like, what do I really think other people are thinking about me? Because most of us want to have an experience where we're respected, valued, important, we matter, and that other people respect us, value us, think that we're important too. It's part of having a full human experience. It's part of having satisfaction in like almost everything that you're doing, right? And that at the base of who you are, you're valuable, you're pursued, you're sought after. You have the Midas touch that everything turns to gold, right? Those were just some intentions, if you want to write those down. But let's really think about it in a big way, right? That we're really molding and shifting and changing the basic assumption and basic beliefs we have about ourselves. So, you guys, try this, even with your notebook, a pen, and a piece of paper. Ask yourself, why am I and my SP not together in my physical reality? And search and look for the real meaning, the real answer. And maybe you can relate to this client of mine that was an artist, because the reason why she wasn't close to people, the reason why it was part of the reason why SP also wasn't with her, because I'm an artist and he thinks I'm weird. I'm an artist and he thinks I don't have a real job. I'm an artist and people just don't stick around for a long time in friendships and relationships, and relationships and friendships are therefore hard for me, right? So I found that really insightful, and I think that can help us all on our journey of self, right? Because just a friendly reminder, especially with the culmination of 2022 and the arrival of 2023, that we're on this continuum. We're on a journey of the soul, that we're evolving and changing and manifesting and recreating ourselves and the people around us for fun, for enjoyment, so that we are really loving our human experience while we are here. Okay. So these are really interesting points. So just as a kind of to sum it up, right? Dive into the reason that you tell yourself you're not with your SP. And then dive into in your own mind and in your own thinking of all of this, right? Like, what do I really, really think about me? What do I think others are also thinking about me? And are there any things that I think other people think about me that I don't want anymore, that I'm ready to rewrite? Because the story of you creates the story of everybody else. Okay. So I hope that you have found this video helpful and that I have provided some insight into looking at all these concepts a little bit differently. And let's have a great week, you guys. Intend again that this week is fun, full of happy moments, full of new beginnings, a new sense of empowerment. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.